Hello there guys, and welcome back to our car modelling tutorial. And today in this episode we're going to continue with our Ford GT here. We're looking quite good so far. Let me just remove the wireframe there. So we're looking really nice in terms of the overall design. The front is looking quite good. I think it'll look a lot better when we've got the headlights in. And the rear of the car is looking really quite good as well. I think what we're going to want to do is maybe we could add a little bit of detail to the kind of inside of our rear tail light there, and we've also got this section up here to have a think about as well. And of course, in the last episode we did start on the side mirrors here, so we'll maybe finish the side mirrors. What I want to do just before that is, I believe I just want to make a little bit of a change to the geometry just here. We also need to add a bit of information in here as well. But I'm thinking what we're wanting to do is, one, we need to just add a little bit more of a point to this. So this area where we've got the curve here isn't quite pointy enough, and also when we look at it from the back it does kind of like jerk in this direction. So what we'll do is we will add in a bit more geometry, but before we do I'm just going to drop in a point. I'm going to drop one. Oh, it looks like I've already got one here. Let me just get rid of that. So what I'm going to do with my multi-cut tool is I'm just going to drop in a vertices. I'm going to drop that about halfway down, just inside there. And what we're going to do in here is we're going to have a look at how kind of pointy we want this to be, and then if we want to make any kind of changes. First, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab all the associated vertices with this. I don't want anything selected from behind it, so I'm going to grab all of those. Just make sure my transform's turned off, and I'm going to pull these. Maybe let's actually take these ones as well, and again I'm just going to hold control to deselect everything else. I'm going to take these ones, I'm going to hit 3, and I'm going to pull on these here until we're in a slightly better position, so that we're not kind of arching back in one direction there. Maybe adjust that one slightly too. And then maybe take that one as well. Okay, we don't really care about that point because obviously we've just added that in. But if we hit 3 now, I'm going to get rid of my wireframe. We can see that that's running up there a lot smoother, which is good. I'm going to go ahead and grab my insert edge loop, and we want to add a bit of definition to this, but I don't know if we want to add too much. Maybe I'm going to drop about there. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so it looks like it's probably too much. So let's see if we can grab all of this and turn our edge slide on and just pull this down here. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe about halfway. It looks like it works okay. We can see that we've got a bit more of a defined section to that, which looks much better. Maybe what we could do with these as well, is maybe just pull those out just a touch. Okay, so I think that's looking okay. Let's jump in our side view, because I think we do need to do a small adjustment. I'm going to get rid of my X-ray on here. And I think for these, we want these to be moved over in this direction. Let's just double check. I don't want to select anything else. Actually, maybe we do. Maybe we will take all of that. I'm going to pull this back in this direction here. Okay, so I think that's looking better. Better inside there, which is good. Okay, and then what we'll do here is let's get rid of this one, and we're gonna go and tie that off. Let's maybe bring that over here. Let's maybe see about maybe drop that down here. Might be the better option. Okay, so we see that there looks really clean, so there's no problems there, so that's good. Okay, so quite happy with that and how that's turned down behind there, which is good. let's have a think then, continue with our wing mirror here. We do have a lot of different components to this from what I can see. I've got a couple of reference images. It was quite hard to find some decent reference images, but what it looks like is that as we go along, it appears to be this section. Let's maybe check the front. Yeah, so it appears to be this line here. So as we go up and along there, we have a bit of a split. So maybe what we could do is, I'm going to go and take all of these, and let's drop these down, and then just follow this line a little bit better here. Around there. What we could do is we could maybe take these ones, and these can run upwards, so they can go along something like this. Okay, so we can go something like that. Okay. We can see we've got a section here. I imagine that's probably where, if this wing mirror folds, I imagine this is where the kind of fold would be. I'm not really sure why, the real point of a wing mirror like this having a folding ability, but let's go and grab our edge slide here, and let's take these back in this direction. Go across there. I think we'll take these ones as well. Yeah, I'm not sure why this would need to fold, considering it's practically as wide as the kind of rear wing here, but so let's maybe think about how we can divide this up. So we do want a line that runs all the way across. I am having a look here to see what kind of goes on at the end over in this kind of area here, and what it looks like is, it looks like on the side going straight down here, this is actually body colored. So what we'll maybe want to do here as well is we'll get all of this straightened up around here. Let's maybe see, okay, what we could maybe do is, let's maybe run under here. And connect just there. Okay, because I think we're going to want to run along here. So let's maybe take this. Let's actually go, I'm going to go for an insert edge loop. I'm going to drop one just here. Which will allow me to take this and jump that across there. And now we can get rid of those bits here. Okay. Let's go and maybe pull these in this direction. Okay. And then I think that should be okay. Let's maybe go a little bit more. Maybe we'll just get a little bit wider as we go there. Okay. So I think that's going to be okay. So let's maybe have a think then about how we're going to plot this. So what it looks like is that we want all of this here to be potentially carbon fiber, which runs down to kind of this point here. So let's maybe have a go at selecting that bit first. So I'm going to start drawing in here and go around this area. Actually, let me just double check our front view. Okay, so we want our line to be up here. That runs along up into that section, but I think what we might actually want to do is this whole line here, we can maybe actually get rid of that. I'm going to hit Control and delete. And it actually looks like what we want to do is we want to take this. So we'll take all of that. And just get rid of my edge slide. We actually want all of this to be up here. Okay, so let's go in. I think the rest there looks okay. So let's go and start drawing in some edges here. Okay, so we'll run around to about here. Okay, and then let's take these, because I think what we'll want to do with this is I'm going to grab this, I'm going to hold down V, and I'm just going to pull it up vertically. And I'm going to snap all of these to that point, holding down V, and then just pulling it vertically instead. Around there. And then I think what we'll want to do is we'll want to cross down here and along and underneath. Okay. Up the side here, and then we'll connect up there. Let's go and we'll target weld. Let's target weld that up there. And with my edge slide, I'll pull this away a little bit. Okay, let me just isolate this because I'm struggling to rotate around. Okay, maybe just a little bit more of a gap between these. Okay, let's go and target weld those two together and then push that over there as well. Okay, I think what we'll probably want to do with this is if I bring that off, I'm going to hold down V and pull that to the side. Okay, and then we'll want to pull that up too. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to be looking at. Let's maybe take this and just push that in a little bit. Okay, so I think we're looking good. So I'm going to go and let's take all of those. We'll hit delete. Okay, and then let's go for an insert edge loop and we'll drop that down here, and then we'll do the same for that too. Grab all of those and hit delete. Okay, so we bring those back, everything else back in. So we've got all of our three sections there. Let's go for a separate on those. Okay, so I think what we'll do is let's go and create the lower side first. So we'll start with this one, and I am going to go and I'm going to take this, I'm going to hit Control E, and I'm actually going to bring this in here. And then target weld those together. Okay. So maybe grab everything. I'm going to hit Control E. And let's see if I can pull this in or push this in on the blue here, just to kind of get everything moving inwards. I'm not too fussed if it's a little bit messy because it is a smaller component. Okay. I'm not going to worry too much about smoothing this just yet. Well, actually defining the edges just yet until we think about these other pieces. So let's go and take everything else. Let's maybe isolate the selections of these. I'm going to grab these edges, I'm going to hit Control E, and let's maybe take these in as well. Something like that, just to kind of match. And bring this one much further back in here, just to make sure we're not kind of like bulging out of anything, which we potentially are here. So let's maybe take that over there, something like that. I'm going to do the same. I'm going to grab every edge, I'm going to hit Control E, and again on the blue I'm just going to push this in. Okay, I'm going to hit 3 and 3. Okay, so that's already looking quite close. So that's already looking quite nice. Let's maybe take this one here, grab all of these, hit Control E, and again I'm just going to pull in on that blue. Take that in there, and then we can hit 3. Okay, so we see for the most part we are looking genuinely quite close here. So let's go and start to think about what we can add to this. I'm going to grab my insert edge loop, and I definitely think we're going to want one going up there. So I can just hit 3 on that. Okay, on the underside it is a lot smoother, and I do kind of like how we've got this shape going on inside here, which is good. The only thing I'm not too sure about is this lower section, but I think it's going to be okay. What we will want to do can select everything there. Okay, I'm just going to take that in that direction just ever so slightly. Okay, so what I will need to do is insert an edge loop just here. Okay, so we've got quite a nice shape running around there. Let's grab this one and let's do the same. I'm just going to select this one too, just so that I can make sure these are going in the right spot. So we'll drop one about here and then one about there. Okay, we're going to hit 3 on there, and we can see that that whole section there is looking quite nice, which is good. Let's maybe, before we do anything with this one, we do want to make sure all of this is looking good. It's not looking too good up here, so I'm just going to make sure my edge slider's off. I'm not sure if this is going to work, but maybe what we could do is grab our scale tool here. Let's see if we can make anything work in here with our scale. So I've just swapped that to component. I'm just seeing if I can get an angle on this, just to straighten that off rather than being a little bit wavy, but I think that's worked out quite nice. Happy with that. Okay, so this isn't like normal mirrors. It doesn't have like an extra little plastic bit on the edge there, so that's not too bad. Let's go and insert an edge loop, and we're going to want to drop one along here. Okay, let's just see how that looks. Okay, now this is exactly what we do want. We do want this coming up and around here, which is nice. Okay, and then that's going to help maintain what we have. Well, it should do if it went all the way. So let's go and draw in the rest of this line. We do want this going along and around here because this is quite pointed. Let's just draw that all the way through there. Okay, so that looks good. We do want to maintain down here as well, so let's maybe drop an edge loop underneath as well. Okay, so that's kind of holding that shape a lot better for us. We do want to grab all of these though, and just push them a little bit further away from each other. Okay. I think what we'll probably want to do with all of this, let me just try one more time. It's not going to work on the component or the object. Okay, so I'm going to grab all these. Let's go for maybe a bevel in here. Maybe not, because they're too close together down there. So let's go and insert some edge loops. We'll maybe just drop 2. Okay, so that looks quite nice. So the main kind of issue with this that we have is kind of what's going on at the bottom here. Let me just bring this back in. I think we're going to want to just adjust these a touch. Okay, yeah, so the main issue we're going to have is here, and that's just because these sections here are all straightened off, whereas they're not on there. So what we need to do with these is I'm going to grab all of this, and I'm going to have to push this in. Okay, let's maybe try just these ones here. Okay, something like that, and then we're going to do the same with the bottom as well. I'm going to pull those back just a touch. We'll maybe bring these ones forward as well. Maybe just bring that down a touch too. Okay, so that's looking quite nice. The only thing is we'll probably want to add some loops to the inside bits here. So let's go and insert some edge loops. We're going to want to drop, I'm maybe just going to drop 2 in there. I'll do the same for this one. Going to drop 2, and then on here we'll do the same as well. Okay, and that's just to tighten up those edges there. So that's looking really good. So let's have a go then at real quick. Drop in those down. What we could also do is duplicate the special for all of these. So these ones here we want to be dark. I'm just going to go for the gloss black for now, and then these ones here we want to be body colored. That's looking good. Oh, we do need to actually add the glass. So let's maybe grab all of those. I'll maybe take these ones. I'm just going to go to select all of that. We'll go to mesh and hit fill hole. I'll grab this and we'll go edit mesh and we'll hit extract on that. Okay. Just center the pivot here. So modify center pivot. And bring this a bit further forward. And then we'll just get that scaled up. And I'm just going to go and take it all the way through. We do want to hit 3 on here just to make sure we're not protruding too much, which we already are. So let's maybe just do something like that, and then we take that down. Just going to add a couple of points in here. Just in between there and there. I'll take that too. Okay. And then I don't think I have a chrome yet. Let me just quickly make a lighter material. And we can apply that over here. Okay, so let's just quickly combine these. I'm just going to hit mesh, combine. I'm going to go for separate, and then I'll be able to duplicate both of those special on there, across to the other side. Okay, so that's looking really nice, which is good. So I'm quite happy with how they look there. Okay. Let's maybe start. We can at least maybe start this. So we're going to want to smooth this off, and then we're going to want to add some vents inside here. Oh, by the way, in between episodes, I did make a small change to the geometry here. I did lower my crease to a lower section there, rather than running down basically at the same area of that crease. I found some images to see that that was actually a little bit lower down, so I did make a small adjustment in between episodes there. So hopefully you guys can see that. If I just remove the smooth and bring in here, all the geometry is exactly the same. I just went down one more line and then across for that. It is only a small change. I think it was okay before, but I think the line looks just a little bit better if it's a little bit lower down. So yeah, let's jump in here. I'm going to go in. The first thing we want to think about in here is that these edges, we want to kind of get rid of these awkward angles. So I'm going to grab my edge slide. And I'm just going to adjust these so that this top line here is either straight or at the correct kind of angle for that. So let's maybe take that there, something like that. I think for the, I may want to take that in a spot. Okay. Do the same down here as well. And the reason we're doing this is just because if we left it as it was, it could affect kind of the way that this path moves. It maybe at some areas looked a little bit fatter than they should have. So we'll just bring that in as well. And then we can see here the discrepancy in the size here. We definitely want this one to be, maybe we'll do this with a vertex. Maybe this one, I want to make this a bit larger as well, and then maybe this one too. Okay, that's looking overall a little bit better. Now the like little fins that we have in here, we don't want to model those as part of this. I'm going to do those as a separate object. If we do hit 3 on here, we can kind of see that we're already fairly nicely in the right shape. We just want to make sure we've got a little bit more to that lower side and the top. Now at the top it does have an extra line for some reason. I don't know if you guys does as well. I'm going to go and hold down Control and delete that extra line. What I might do for this top and bottom here is we could try giving this a little bit of a bevel. So I'll grab those. Let's go for a bevel. I'm going to reduce that right down. Maybe 0.05. Maybe 0.025. Oh, 0.025, and then I'm just going to throw another segment inside there, so we'll do that, which looks good. Okay, so if we hit 3 now, that should maintain the kind of tuck down there. For the most part it has, and then we're looking good at the top there too. Okay, we're going to want to maintain, I think down here looks okay. So this lower kind of curved bit looks fine. We are going to want to maintain this bit up here. So what we could do is let's grab all of this and we'll go for another bevel here. Let's reduce that right down, like 0.01. 0.01 seems to work, and then let's drop another segment in there as well. Okay, so that's holding out there a lot better. Well, maybe we want to bring that down a touch. So maybe we want to grab all the associated geometry with that. And I'm just going to lower it down. Okay, so that's looking okay. We are going to want to maintain and add some edge loops too, so let's drop 2. Yeah, I think we'll drop 2 inside there. And then the lower part of it's curved, but I don't think that's a problem because we're not going to see all the way down there anyway, so I don't know if we're going to need to make any changes to that. But we've got kind of the rough shape in there, which looks quite nice. And then if we smooth off the glass, that should fit and run down there really nicely as well. Alright guys, so I think we'll stop there then for this episode. In the next episode what we'll do is we'll maybe put those ridges in there. We'll add that little extra detail to the rear lights. We do need to do some detail up here as well. Obviously we've got the wipers as well, and then the headlights. So I think maybe in the next episode what we'll do is we'll start with this bit, and then we'll maybe move on to the front headlights, because that's the only real major job left, and we can kind of do a finale with some like little edge fan like odds and ends to kind of put together after that. Alright guys, so if you enjoyed the episode, please hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you in the next one.